welcome to your math lesson for the week. We are going to continue learning how to count bills. So this week we're going to practice counting $50 bills. Last week we did 1, 5, 10, 20, I think. So now we're going to move up to counting $50 bills. So when you count by $50, it's just like counting by fives. We just add a zero at the end. So like counting by fives, it goes 5, 10. Counting by 50s goes 50, 100. So it's a 5 with a 0 to make 50, a 10 with a 0 to make 100. So that might help you in counting. You might think 50's too big. How am I going to count by 50s? Just think about counting by fives and adding a 0. So right here we have 50, 100, 150, 200. So that'd be like 5, 10, 15, 20, and then add a 0. 20 with the 0 is 200. 50, 100. 50, 100, 150, 250, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. Geez, Miss Tar, can't count. So just the same, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, so that's 25 with the 0. Then we have 50, 100, 150, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300. Just to show you again, just like saying 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So you write down 30, and then you add a 0 because you're counting 50s, like a 5 with the 0. So you can do this on Tuesday. You can also do this page on Tuesday, which is counting by hundreds. Counting by hundreds is just like counting by tens and adding a 0. So 10, 20, 30, it's just the same as 100, 200, 300. You're just adding a 0 after your answer. And it's just kind of like counting by ones as well. 1, 2, 3, you're just adding 2 zeros. So you have 100, 200, 300, 10, 20, 30, 30, add a 0. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. 100, 200, 300, 400. 100, 200, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Really, counting by hundreds and ones and tens are pretty easy because you're just moving up the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. So on Wednesday, we are moving on to adding up mixed bills. So far we've just been adding like the same bills, 10s or 20s or 5s, but now we're going to practice adding up mixed bills, like a 10, a 5, and a 20. Same with change when we talked about starting with your biggest valued coin first. The same is going to hold true for counting bills. If you have a 50, a 20, and a 10, you're going to start with the 50 because it's the biggest. You're always going to count the biggest bills first and then work your way down. So let's practice doing that here. Sorry, I was just looking at the sheet. So we're not practicing that quite yet. We're still going to practice helping us find patterns. So really right here, you're just adding $50 bills again. So you started with 100, and we're going to add $50 bills from there. So you go 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 550. And you're just going to continue that all the way down. What you can do is freeze the screen if you want to check your answers after you've completed it, okay? So then on Wednesday, you're also going to do the same thing. Last time they gave you little checks to make sure you're on the right track, like they had the numbers there for you. This next page, they're not doing that for you this time. You got to do it right yourself. And again, you can freeze the screen to help you get the answers. So you're starting at 150 and you're adding $50 bills. So 150 plus 50 is 200, plus 50 is 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, 500. You're going to do the same for all of these. The patterns that I notice when I'm doing this is they all end in 0. And it's the second number is either a 0 or a 5. So here's 200, 250. So the second number is always a 5 or a 0 when we're adding 50s. On Thursday, you're going to do the same thing, but this time you are going to do it with a $20 bill. And they're making it a little bit more difficult for us because they're not starting it on a like a 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. They're starting at 450, so it's going to be harder for us to do the 20s, but we can still do it. We're just taking that second number and adding 2 every time. So 450 plus 20 is 470. 470 plus 20 is 490. So 7 plus 2 is 490. 490 plus 20 is 510. We went to the next hundreds, so we had to carry over. So 510 plus 20 is 530. 1 plus 2 is 30. 530 plus 20 is 550. 550 plus 520 is 570. 570 plus 20 is 590. Again, this one is much harder to do, so take your time. And the great thing is they have these little numbers on here to make sure you're on the right track. And you can freeze the screen after you complete it to make sure, or to see the answers, okay? So you're going to do that on Thursday, and on Thursday you're going to do the same thing again with 20s, except for this time they don't have the little green ones there to see if you're on the right track. So again, come back to this video and freeze this to help you answer, or make sure you got the right answers. And then on Friday, we're going to do the same thing, but with 10s. And I messed up on this. I was losing my brain today, so I had to cross out some answers. Actually, what I did was I accidentally was still doing 20 again, adding 20s, and I was not reading the directions. It said add 10, so don't make my same mistake. So this should be easier, much easier than counting by 20s, because we're just going up one number every time. So start at 380, you just go to 390, then 400, then 410, 420, 430, 440, 450. So each time the second number is just going up one number. So you're going to do that for this whole sheet. And then the same for here. And you can freeze this and come back and look at your answers. So the reason why we're doing all this practice counting is so you're getting so used to counting these bills that when we combine them together, which is what we're going to do next week, you'll have a much better handle of counting the bills. If you have bills around your house, I would like you to get those together and practice counting them. Just because it's always great to have real life practices. It's great on worksheets because it gives you the practice, but when you have actual dollars in your hand, that's the best practice that you can have. So, and you can even have a family member just give you different bills at different times and you can practice adding them up. So that is your homework for this week. Next week, we're going to finish this unit. And next week's your last week of high school, which is crazy. So we're going to finish the unit at the same time as your last week of high school. And hopefully you'll be much better at counting bills and coins by the time this is over. So good luck. Happy bill counting. Have a great day.